In this video, I'm going to give you 4 ways that you can protect yourself against the rapidly rising cost of energy. Energy prices in the United States and Europe and other parts of the world have been soaring lately, and the price increases far exceed the inflation rate. And if you're like me, your income isn't rising at the same rate, so you could use some relief. Well, here are 4 ways for you to consider attacking the problem of rate hikes from your electricity provider. Tip number 1 is to diversify. In other words, don't depend 100% on the electric company for your energy needs. For example, switch over as many of your appliances as you can to natural gas or propane, such as your stove, water heater, and clothes dryer. Also, if possible, burn wood in a fireplace or wood stove for some of your heating needs in the winter. Tip number 2 is to strategize. Some of us may not be able to diversify and have to remain 100% dependent on the electric utility company. In that case, you need to consider changing how you use that electricity. If you have a variable rate electric plan, flip the script on the utility. What I mean by that is purchase an energy storage system, which is a large battery that stores grid power. This can be used creatively to recharge when power is cheap, such as in the nighttime, and then discharge that cheaper power into your home when the price of electricity is high, such as during the middle of the day. If you don't have money to invest in an ESS, plan to use less power during peak rate times of the day. For example, do your laundry and dishes at nighttime after the rate switch. And wait until that cheaper rate kicks in to lower your thermostat to cool your house down for more comfortable sleeping temperatures at night. But if you absolutely have to run appliances during peak times, consider replacing them with more efficient units, which will give you a lot more savings in the long term as opposed to devices used during off-peak hours. Another strategy is to try to block the sun in the summer and let it in during the winter. This is called passive solar, which I won't explain in depth, but you can look it up for more information if you're interested. Usually, you'd think about passive solar when building a home, so the construction can maximize efficiency. But you can do a few things after the fact too. In the summer, for example, use solar shades on your windows, especially south-facing windows in the United States, to block UV radiation that will add extra heat to your home. You can also install radiant barriers in your attic to keep the attic from becoming as hot, which radiates into your home and makes your air conditioner work harder. In the winter, open up all the shades on your windows to let in as much light and warmth as possible. It may not seem like a big deal, but it can add up over time. Last but not least, sign up for a fixed rate electricity plan whenever possible. This means your electricity costs are the same no matter what time of day. It also means you're usually locked into a price for a certain time period. It may seem tempting to get those utility promotions on the variable rate plans like free nights and weekends, but they wouldn't be offering that as an incentive if it wasn't in their best interest. A fixed rate gives you predictability, and you don't have to do all of these shenanigans to plan your usage. If a fixed rate plan is available, make sure to sign up for the longest term possible, preferably at least 12 months. Then make sure that you renew the plan before it expires. Tip number 3 is to get more information. Spend some time doing some research and consulting experts. One great way to do that is to get an energy audit. An energy audit is when a consultant, sometimes an HVAC contractor, comes to your home and does an inspection. They'll take a look at your heating and air systems as well as lights, appliances, and other systems. They'll then make recommendations to you on how you can improve your energy efficiency and may also educate you on some programs and rebates that you may qualify for. Energy audits are sometimes offered for free by your electric company, so check with them first. But even if you have to pay for the service, it can be well worth it, especially if you aren't one that's very handy or who can understand these systems for yourself. Another area to focus on in your research is to find out what electricity options you have available to you. You may be lucky enough to live in an area where you can choose which electricity provider to do business with. There are actually 15 states in the United States where at least part of the residents have options to choose. I don't know much about power in other countries, but you may have options too. If you do have options, shop around and find the best deal for your family. If you don't have options, talk to that provider and ask about other price plans that you can choose from. Also, find out what kind of incentives, rebates, and programs they offer to their customers, such as free energy audits and appliance rebates. Most people don't spend a lot of time shopping around because it's kind of boring, but it can save you a ton of money in the long run. And tip number 4 is get a divorce. No, not from your wife. From the electric company. You knew I wasn't going to be able to get through this whole video and not mention solar, right? The absolute best way to avoid rate hikes is to not buy electricity in the first place. As prices continue to drop on solar, batteries, inverters, and other equipment, the option to go energy independent is becoming more viable every day. Add in a nice wind turbine and some batteries, and you can truly become your own electricity company and protect yourself from rising prices for good. Okay, I know what some of you are thinking. Being completely independent is a pipe dream and you can't afford it. Well, do me a favor and talk to the guys and gals over at EnergySage before you dismiss it as an option. You have nothing to lose except a few minutes of your time. They'll help you get independent quotes and then act as your advisor to make sense of everything and help you impartially make the best decision, even if that means not going solar. But I think you'll be surprised. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something today, but either way, let me know what you think in the comments below.